All right, so let's begin. Unfortunately, we have only 15 minutes, so we will be trying to be very fast because 6 p.m. it's our deadline, unfortunately.
Did you start the video?
Yes. Okay. We have prepared a lot of activities and other stuff, but rapidly we decided to change everything and even not to comment these pictures, our photos, but try to talk about travels, share our experience and knowledge. So, let's start. First of all, thank you all for coming. My name is Bogdan, it's my wife Anna. We are well known in Ukraine as two hitchhikers. And also, that's the name of our main blog in Facebook, in VK, on YouTube channel, and live journal and other social medias, because we have started travel by hitchhiking 6 years ago, and that's the main way of our traveling and transfer our bodies from point A to point Z on our route. For last 6 years, we have visited 66 countries, mostly by hitchhiking. We have covered 140,000 kilometers by hitchhiking, and almost 2,000 drivers gave us a ride by this way. So guys, first of all, we want to ask you, how do you think, how much money do you need per day for your adventure, for trip, for traveling? For everything, including air tickets, transportation, and everything per day in average. Like for a trip, like a year and 1 month.
Let it be probably $100.
$100 per day for a person. Okay, not bad.
I read you wrote you needed just $5.
$5 a day. Yeah, that was, we mentioned about $5 per day. Another guess? You see, huge difference, $100 and $5. Maybe you have your own experience. How much do you usually spend per day in your trip? I know that it's a huge difference if you go to, I don't know, in Middle Asia or Africa or
Europe.
Canada or Norway, Switzerland, amount of money will be really different. But anyway, tell me something. A number of bucks. $50. I know many friends that travel within $50 per day. But as for us, we have started traveling starting from $1 per day for 2 people, and this money covered everything, all the expenses, including visas, transportation, and food, accommodation, and everything, were inside this $1 per day in average. Now, yes, we can spend more because we earn more, but before we were students, and it was $1 or $2 per day. It indeed happened 6 years ago. We had our trip from Ukraine, later we will show on the map, from Ukraine to Indonesia by hitchhiking.
And during this trip, we spent just $1 per day for 2 people. Usually we were hitchhiking, using website of World Hospitality, cooking by our own, and finding so many nice ways of cheap travels. And we'll talk about these ways later,
Yeah. Now we want to also ask you, maybe you can help us to figure out what are the main 4. For somebody it's 5, 6, 7, doesn't matter. For us it's 4. Basic 4 categories that you spend money for during your trip. Let's count. Food, transport. In general, accommodation. Let's say accommodation. And sites. Sightseeing things.
Tickets for
museums. For museums. Also, someone can also include a 5th category as visas. Also, but we exclude it for now. So we can even write it down on this board. First, we'll talk about, let's say, food. All of us, we want to eat delicious food, right? And of course, if we go into some particular place, we want to try something local. How to do it and not to spend much. Yeah, I'm really a bit sorry about talking how to save money. Now we're living in Ukraine. Probably it's really actual question, how to save, not to earn. Yeah. Now we'll talk about how to reduce the price for your trip. I think this knowledge will be useful for all of us. So let's do it together. How to eat cheap food. How to do it cheap or free. Any ideas?
Ask somebody for
Yeah, like ask somebody, like, hey, mister, please, I'm hungry. Would you mind, like, treat me a bit? With
Somebody.
To make friends in local countries, to make friends.
Yeah, right. Make friends. So first you make friends, maybe for 2 weeks. 2 weeks you're starving, and then your friend maybe finally will cook something for you.
You find some friends in internet before you go.
Right, exactly. We'll talk about this later, like accommodation. But about food, we know many people, they do dumpster diving. What does it mean? You go, it's like a huge trash can close to the supermarket or to the superstore. You just dig yourself in and try to find some food over there. We have never tried this before, but we know many people. Yeah, our local trash cans are not like Americans or Europeans. Food there is, let's say, good. For example, we were told like people found there fresh pizzas, cakes, fruits, just from example yesterday. I wouldn't mind eat like cheese, the date of which was expired yesterday. For example, that was their way to feed
What are
themselves.
the other ways? Maybe to buy some food at supermarket and cook by your own. That is the way we used during our trips. Sometimes we went to some local market where the prices were really very cheap, and we bought some great fresh food and then cooked at somebody's place.
Yeah, first, normal way of eating is cook. Yeah, cook by your own.
Yeah.
So you go to the local supermarket, like street market or superstore, find some products and cook. Really, we tried it many times, and usually this is the main way of just making our body healthy.
And also when we were in Asia, the food is there so cheap, so you can go to the luxury restaurant and order some food per $1 per meal. So it's also quite cheap way of having some nice food. Also, when we were traveling in Europe, the prices food were not so cheap as in Asia. So we tried to find some canteens, like student canteens or some other kind of canteens, and the food there was quite cheap.
Yeah, so cheap cafes in Asia or Africa, and students' canteen in all around Europe and now. A third thing, how do you think? What else can do it? Yeah, it's like you said, it's a world hospitality. If you're making friends, if you are good people, if you try to host some people at your home, maybe this circulation of energy and kindness will help you to receive a piece of this positive feeling.
Yeah, when we were traveling in Asia, many people hosted us and treated us with some delicious food. They cooked for us a lot of different unique food in different countries, and that was really great experience for our stomach.
Yeah, I see we have not enough time.
Okay,
that was food. I think pretty clear. If anybody has a question, please.
Does it scary to eat in a cheap cafe?
Of course not. I will tell you a story. When we were traveling in Indonesia on a Sumatra island, it was absolutely not touristic place, and a local guy just gave us a ride. Fortunately, Indonesian people speak English very well. I don't know how. But we stopped at some occasion place, and the driver said, "Come on, guys, I'll treat you with the lunch." I said, "Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for just your hospitality." We entered a cafe, and it was like few tables. Plates were supposed to be white, but they were not. He said, "Please, just let's clean our hands first." We said, "All right." So the waiter just brought us a small bowl
with water.
With
Small
water.
one.
Water also was not really white and clear. So we just put the top of our fingers inside, making like movement like this, like that in the end, and it was ready. And all of us
We're eating
no soap, of course, no soap. And later we were eating also using our hands and fingers. Yeah, it was one of the, I think, the dirtiest place we have ever been to, but nothing to worry
We're
about.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
It's local life.
Okay, the second.
Second chapter about our expenses is transportation.
Yeah. How to travel around the world for free or with some low expenses? How do you think, maybe?
Yes, the main way of traveling is hitchhiking.
Also, you can use your feet and also travel by foot, on foot. And that is the way some people do. But it's quite slow. And also the way of traveling is by bicycle.
By bicycle, also free, let's say.
Yeah.
Hitchhiking, your legs, bicycle, also probably...
So you have tried bicycle service?
But not travel, just hanging out on bicycles, but not travel with a backpack. No,
For a
not for a long time.
Yeah. Okay, some other ways, maybe buses, trains,
then
planes.
Not very cheap, but also not very expensive, can be local buses. Ukraine, really, if we will talk about transportation in Ukraine, it's very, very cheap. Especially all of people from around the world, they have been to Ukraine. They are so amazed that our trains are super cheap. Super cheap trains still, even, let's say, even for us. So local trains, buses, like marshrutkás. Local transportation. Like imagine any American would go inside local bus, which are located on the third bus station. Like the condition of those buses sometimes are so local. The same was in our trip all around the world. Local transportation is not only a way of transportate our body, but to see the local life.
Because when we were hitchhiking, we have seen so many nice people around, and we could communicate with them and make friends. Because when you are traveling, for example, by plane, you cannot make friends. But not really make friends with people who are around you. But hitchhiking makes the world like one family, and it was really great experience for us. Sometimes we could have a ride for 1,000 kilometers with one driver, and sometimes we could have just 1 kilometer, and so it depends.
Sometimes even 1 meter.
Yeah.
Sometimes even minus 3 meters.
Yeah.
It really happened. Like a small story in Mongolia, we just stopped the car, entered the car, sit in. Driver just made a U-turn, come back and stop, and said, "No, I will not go this way. Sorry, I just." I changed my mind, and we really went the opposite way. Other cheap options are like BlaBlaCar. Now it's more popular. Like sharing money in United States is Craigslist website, also very, very popular. You just pay for gasoline.
Or you can rent a car.
Or you can rent a car.
In Italy, I bought a ticket and I used train. I went on the train to Rome, yes, but nobody checked my ticket, so useful information.
Yeah.
Another useful information. We even didn't buy tickets in Italy, and nobody checked us as well. So another useful information. But please, we do not make any effort to follow us. Don't do that. It's on your own risk, all right? Let's talk about third way. Third way to save money. And third cluster will be
Maybe
accommodation.
Accommodation, living or accommodation.
Yeah, accommodation.
Okay. What is the cheapest way to sleep for free in different countries? Yeah,
That's right. So couch surfing.
It's a worldwide website of World Hospitality, and we used it maybe 300 times.
Yeah, as guests, we
As
were maybe
guests.
300 times, and we hosted more than 100 people also in Khmelnitsky and in China.
Yeah, that's great way also to make friends and to meet different people. They usually helped us not only to have a place to sleep, but also showed us around, showed the cheap places to eat or to buy food. Yeah, we like it so much.
Also, we have another websites of World Hospitality. They still exist, like hospitalityclub.org or Be Welcome, or for hitchhikers is Trust Routes, or there are many local hospitality clubs for cyclists or for motorcyclists or for family members, I know, for pets lovers and so on. This is the basic thing.
The second one maybe is the tent.
Your own tent that you carry with you with your backpack. Tent.
And another way of traveling which we use during our trips is to ask people on the streets where we can sleep for free in different countries.
Yeah, when you have no choice and no couch surfers there and you don't have a tent, and you, for example, entered to the city or a new country that you don't know each other, but you want to sleep, what to do? Some people have only one idea. Okay, I will go to the train station, if it exists there, and I'll spend night there. But that's so rude. It's no need to do that. People are nice everywhere. You must just a little bit help them to be nice. Help and ask appropriate question like, hello, mister, we are travelers from Ukraine. We are a couple. We are very new in your city, in your country. We really appreciate it. Maybe, do you know some places where we can spend night for free in your city? And people start to think. Some of them suggested us local church or mosque, or just on the floor in the museum, or in some abandoned building. Or they just first, they want to treat us because they are very welcome. But mostly, all of them invited us to their own house. And if you will be asked by some foreigner on our streets surround Khmelnitsky, please ask people to come to your place. You will show how welcome Ukrainians are this way. It would be great, by the way. So yeah, it's an extreme way, but it's working and it's really interesting. We have lots of stories about people's adventures, and I remember the greatest experience we had were because of such question. In Armenia, in oh my God, so many countries that we asked about free accommodation just on the street, and maybe first guy will be scared and say no. Second, I don't know, a grandma will just run away from you. But believe me, at least fifth guy that you will ask will approve, and you will find your warm place to sleep, to stay. Okay, and fourth is tickets. I think some of you may know that usually huge and the most excited museums or sightseeing things are expensive to enter. But on another hand, you may know also that we have in our modern world such things as special holidays and 3 days of visiting and 3 hours of visiting. So before you go to Louvre in Paris, you must check out what are the 3 hours of visiting, 3 days of visiting, and some special holidays which allow you to get there for free. And in this situation, you can find information about any museum of the world. So we, together with Anna, we almost never paid because we easily found the 3 days of visiting. In Louvre in Paris, we got for free, of course. And in other museums in the world, the same way. Please check out in the internet and you will find your free tickets. So 3 days or hours. In Moscow, it was a Kremlin, Pushkin's Museum, in St. Petersburg, Hermitage Gallery. All of them have 3 days, 3 hours. 3 days, hours. What else? How can you get in some place also cheap or free? In the United States, it's interesting that you have 2 prices. Some museums charge you in 2 different ways. First is fixed price. If price is fixed, you cannot do anything. You must pay this amount of money. But if it is suggested price, for example, we were in the National Art Museum in New York, and suggested price was $35. We paid $1 with Anna and enter for $1 for 2 people because the price is suggested. It's not obligation to pay. It's just suggested. It means I'm very kind and I'll just make a my investment to your museum. Yeah. But local Manhattan people and New Yorkers, they don't pay fixed price. They pay suggested, and they are laughing at so stupid tourists who pays $35 per ticket. So never pay suggested price. Now we'll go to more interesting topic. What if no 3 days, no 3 hours, no suggested price, and you really want to go there? How will you deal about that?
In Vatican, I tried to, there is a huge line to enter Vatican.
Yeah.
But people come out of it. So I tried to go
opposite way.
I don't know how to say. Against the tide.
In the way out, yeah.
But
Exactly,
Good
that's
idea.
one of the ways, yeah. You go to exit.
that would be your
It's your entrance. No, yeah.
Enter from the
Yeah,
exit.
just go just against the crowd, yeah. That's true, it's working sometimes. We also tried it from time to time. It's not very good for, I don't know.
But if you have low budget,
Yeah, and if you
that
really
is
want
a way
to go,
for you.
yeah. Come on, just create something. Use your imagination, guys. Your dream is just Taj Mahal. How must you enter to Taj Mahal if tickets is $100?
For example, when we were in Petra in
Jordan?
Jordan, the price to enter to this great place was $70, and we didn't want to pay this money.
$70.
Yeah, just to enter for 1 day, and we decided to find some other ways. We found in the internet that there is almost impossible to find other kind of gates or enter to climb over the fence. It's quite hard there because there are everywhere mountains, high mountains. It's
And
dangerous.
rangers also can catch you.
Yeah. So we decided to try another way. We just were staying at the entrance, legal entrance, and we're searching maybe some tourists from Ukraine or Russia, and we can ask them to give us their tickets, because the tickets is valid for 1 day, so you can enter, go out, and enter again. So, and we found one very nice couple, and we just asked, the tickets are so expensive here. Okay, so you can use ours.
Yeah, there were no names on it,
Yeah,
so
so
we easily use it.
yeah, $70.
Saved $140. So it's ask for a ticket. What else?
In some countries, we also ask like ticket officer to enter somewhere for free. If the country is nice, for example, it's Asia, not so many tourists go to that museum, not very popular place, so you can just ask, we're travelers, we cannot spend a lot of money, can we go for free, or do you have some discount for us? Like, we are popular, here's a newspaper with us, or something like that, and it helps. So many times we use this way of.
So just ask,
yeah.
right? Simply ask ticket officer. What else? You can also climb over the wall. You can do that if you really want to go. Yeah, climb. Also, you may kill a guard. I'm joking. Come on, just forget about it. Okay, so these are the 4 main categories which allow you to save money. Any questions till
about
now?
these 4 topics? No. Okay, so now we'll talk about how to plan your trip. What do you need to know? What do you need to take with you? And how to know everything about your future adventure. When we were planning our trip to Asia, we started preparation before our trip, like half a year before. And it was like really very hard work. Like, we were sitting every evening in the internet and trying to find everything about roads, visas, languages, and other peculiarities of going to one or another country.
Yeah, and please don't forget that there is a rule. Time is money, but it meaning in the meaning of travels. What does it mean? If you have more money, you need less time to prepare, less time for transportation. If you have less money, you need more time to prepare and more time to preparation. Let's take an example about hitchhiking. Yes, I have no money, so what must I do? I must use my thumbs up and travel like from Kiev to Beijing, for example, to China, by hitchhiking. Yes,
maybe it will take just 1 month.
In 2 weeks, even it will be okay.
Weeks,
In 2 weeks, you will reach your point. What if I have a really small money? I have some, but a little bit. So sometimes hitchhiking, sometimes local bus, sometimes cheap train, and like that. Yeah,
it will be maybe 1 week.
Yeah, maybe in 1 week you will get to Beijing. What if I have like okay money, like not enough for plane, but I feel very confident, so I will take like few trains, or change several buses. And if I have a lot of money, I will not just think I will take the plane and I will get there immediately, like in 1 day. The same about preparations. If you have more time, please make your researchment, and you will succeed.
Yeah, what is the most important topic to prepare for? Maybe visas, because you cannot enter to some countries without visas. So first of all, you should know how to make this kind of visas, because some countries, they ask you to make visa in your own country or in some neighbor countries, or you can just put your visa into your passport just on the border, or there are some countries that you even don't need visas.
Yeah, there is no only one rule that says, come on, you must make visa, or do like that, or do like this. Each country has its own rule, and you must do, of course, another research. And it's not very easy, but now we have Google, we have internet access, and all of the answers for questions are there. Believe me, first you can ask experienced travelers. You can ask even us sometimes if you need. We can easily answer, or please use your creative brain. It's about visa. Second, what do you need also prepare for? Visa. Maybe you need to pack your things, right?
Yeah.
I really suggest you not to take a suitcase, but a backpack. Instead of suitcase, backpack is really great stuff to take just on your shoulders. You can carry things with you, and later you will understand that you don't need much. If we are talking about free travels, not just sleep in hotel and swim at the seashore, because you don't need to use your brain for that trip. Yeah. What if you need to use your brain? You need a backpack. What do you usually pack inside your backpack? Backpack. Yeah, of course, depends where you go, what type of climate. We'll now try to make a short notice about everything. Tent, yeah? Sometimes we need tent, sometimes don't. It depends on our own aim. Like if I go to Carpathian Mountains for a week, probably I will take, probably not. If I'll go to Thailand to swim close to my bungalow that I rent, I don't need a tent over there. So it just depends on you. Tent. What else? Medicine, right. The pills you like to take, yeah, you take with you. Medicine. Please don't make an insurance. You're just wasting the money. Really, indeed. We only once we have done a medical insurance because it was obligation to enter the European Union when we had to have a visa before. But usually nothing bad happens when you just do normal things. If you are stupid, or sometimes occasions, of course, everything may happen, but it's the same chance to may happen exactly right here in our city, in our Khmelnitsky. So it's not more risky to go abroad than living here. What do you need in your backpack as well? How many t-shirts will you take with you guys? Two, yeah, not more than 3, please. 2 or 3 t-shirts. How many pair of shoes?
2.
Yeah. Yeah, so t-shirts. Not more than 2 pairs of shoes. Doesn't matter what climate is there, but not more than 2. Sleeping bag. Yeah, sometimes it can be a sleeping bag, sometimes not. Depends on the climate. If it's a subtropical climate, you don't need a sleeping bag even over there. Just we call it like a type of blanket.
Yeah.
Kind of blanket. What else? Passport, of course. The main thing is passport. I will not mention it here.
Brains.
First is your brains. The second thing is a passport. Please take brains with you. What else?
Phone charger.
Yeah, all the electricity facilities and
Electronics.
electronic stuff. Yeah, phone, laptop, chargers,
If you need.
a camera, action camera, tripod. What else? It's what we take with us. Microphones. Yeah. Yeah, so electronic devices. Yeah. I'm using my my left
Okay, I
hand.
can.
Please. Thanks for you. Electronic devices. What else? Money. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. We're talking how to reduce the amount of money. But yeah, for sure you need some money, especially if you have. If you have money, please take them. Toiletries, yeah. Yeah. Toothbrush, soap, toothpaste.
I never take toothpaste.
You use somebody's.
Yeah, right. Like in the wood, like squirrel. Hey, give me your toothpaste, please. I think that's the basic,
Yeah.
basic complex of things that you will take with you. What must be the weight of your backpack? How do you think?
Maximum 10 kilos. 10.
Uh,
More, not more.
if you want to walk all day long with your backpack, the weight must be not more than 15% of your own weight. Not more. So for example, my weight is 60 plus, let's say 60 kilos. So I must take like 9 kilos. 9 up to 10 kilos my backpack. If it's heavier, it's not really pleasantly for me to walk with my backpack all day long. Yeah, and it's not healthy.
Yeah.
But of course, if you go to Carpathians without any civilization for a week, you must carry a food, a tent, and all the stuff with you. Your backpack must be really heavier, but it's okay. Okay, with backpack we have. What else we'll talk about today? We'll talk about how to earn money during your trip.
Yeah.
What if your money just expired, or you just spent all of them, but your trip must go on? You can earn something. Depends what can you do. You can use your skills. For example, we were English teachers for small kids in Taiwan, in Indonesia,
Vietnam.
China, Vietnam. Even a couple of days is enough. How could you find a job? First of all, ask all the people around that you know, even drivers that give you a ride, the host that hosts you using the couch surfing. It's not here anymore. Okay. Yeah, and also ask locals about websites where you can find a job. You may be a freelancer, photographer, babysitter, just handyman,
Model.
Model, why not, and everything.
In Bulgaria, I worked for a while in some hostel, and they paid me some money. And I lived there actually, and I used their food, so it was very, comfortable.
Some people think that it's really hard to find a job abroad, because they think that it's impossible or everything must be legal. If you want to find a legal job, yes, you must apply for a working visa. We've been working as a legal teachers in China for more than a year, and it was a legal job. But many people work illegally, and all of them are satisfied with that. So you just ask. If you want to do something, please make more research. Ask wise people. Don't think too much, but do something. So that's the basic things that we want to share you within this one small hour. Please ask more questions, because I know that this information was not enough. We don't want to comment each photo on this slideshow, because that's impossible. It will take, for example, several hours, because each picture has a story, a big story. And it's just our faces. We have 100,000 of different pictures as well.
What is about communication in China with the drivers? They don't know English.
Yeah, it's true. China is one of the weirdest countries we have been ever to. And drivers don't speak English at all. First, we prepared some special cards, paper cards, with the Chinese characters. And on these Chinese characters cards, we used the Google translators or some of the couch surfers from China. We asked them to translate that, hello, we are travelers from Ukraine, we are hitchhikers, can you give us a ride for 1 or 2 kilometers straight ahead? And just show them just this single card.
So, for example, we were with driver for 1 hour, and we were all this hour trying to talk with the help of these cards, like, here, read. That was quite funny.
First, that card was with another Chinese characters that we printed, and driver, he just continuously keep looking at this paper, reading all the stuff that we printed for about us, about our adventure experience, that we want to go to the toilet, we want to sleep, that we are hungry. Where to go find cheap food? Where is the hostel? Where is hotel? Can you please call my friend? And some other stuff. He said, and finally he said, so what? So what do I need to read? I point him again. Here about the, please can you give us a ride? Said, okay, like this, and started again, all of the list, and then what? So we cut it. We cut
paper into
cut-
small pieces.
cut
Just
all the
phrase
paper.
and phrase. Maybe some other questions?
But China is one of the most interesting countries at the same time that we've been to. It's great. And we learned Chinese finally a little bit. So now we can communicate with drivers at least a little bit.
How is Chinese girl here, by the way?
Oh, ni hao. Hello. Great.
I think you should prepare for a dictionary.
Excuse me?
Dictionary.
Dictionary. Yeah, Chinese dictionary.
People maybe know English well.
Before we didn't have a smartphone with us. Now it's very easy. You have an offline
Yeah.
translator. So you can use, driver can easily use a phone, you can use a phone, but before it was ancient times, you know, it was really.
Dinosaurs.
So we had to communicate only using our, I don't know, not verbal language.
Body language, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later, China. About China.
I will.
What else? We still have time.
What was the first country that you visited by hitchhiking?
It was Georgia, and it's still one of the most favorite countries. All of these countries close to Caucasus Mountains, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, even Turkey, they are great. And they are great for first visiting, for first hitchhiking, and to feel all the hospitality. It's just great. Everybody must go to Georgia.
Some other?
Other questions?
How you earn money? Because you must to pay for hotel and it take a lot of time. So that's
Yeah, first, we never used a hotel in our life. We never lived in hotel, except the guys who gave us a ride, and they were super rich, and they just suggested and offered us to stay at their own hotel. So that was like exception. Well, but we have never paid for a hotel that we stayed in. A second thing, yes, it's easy to earn money. It's easier than it seems to be. You can earn money in your trip just using your own skills. We know people that, by the way, in China, playing the guitar for 1 hour, and guy earned $100.
Yeah.
Just playing the guitar at the right place,
Yeah.
at the right time. Yeah, not just 100 hryvnias, but $100 US. But in RMB, of course, in yuan, in RMB, but converting to US dollars, lots of money.
Yeah.
100 that American presidents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just one Benjamin Franklin. He wasn't a president, by the way.
No?
The only person on the American money who wasn't a president. On $100 banknote, Benjamin Franklin, as I remember. I can be wrong, but as I remember.
How many states you have visited in USA?
In USA, I didn't count, but around 15, 16 states.
Yes.
We started our let me finish this slideshow, and I will just show you our map. Yeah, with the it was
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, we have started our trip in the U.S. In New York, then through Philadelphia, North Carolina, Georgia, then Florida, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Oregon, Yeah, I missed some others, small states. Yeah, that was our trip in the United States. And that is all of our experience of traveling. By the way, it's only by hitchhiking for last 6 years. But US is not there, and Canada and US were on the previous map. This is our the old different trips, maybe 6 or 7 different trips. Yeah, black lines is hitchhiking. The only exception of hitchhiking is this, is here, because here is no road for cars, only train can go, and for sure here are no roads as well. That was like the only exception. This part was by helicopter, so it's not hitchhiking. We have 5 minutes left. These are our contacts.
And you can take our visit cards.
And here are our other contacts.
So you can add us.
Our blog, website, a lot of useful and free information about travels and others.
When you travel, do you take with you cell phone, laptop, or other?
Yeah.
Which offline maps do you use? So Google Maps or?
Yeah, now we take with us everything. You mentioned both phone, laptop. We'd never use GPS, but we try not to use offline maps, even not to use. For example, we know our own plan and we know how to do it before. When we have internet, we just check, remember, ask local, and you don't need internet for a couple of days at all. So basically everything is here because maybe we have started travel not using anything, just a paper, sheet of paper. Even we were writing down the old. It was really old school before. But now it's easier. Yeah, sometimes offline Maps.me, somebody is using Maps.me, but they can be wrong sometimes. But yeah, you can use everything. I think it's 4 minutes left. We still have 4 minutes to relax.
Have you been to Moldova?
Yeah.
What is the cheapest way to go there now?
Cheapest way?
Yeah.
Hitchhiking to Vinica and then turn right to Mohyliv-Podilsky by hitchhiking.
What about without hitchhiking?
Buses to Mohyliv-Podilsky.
And then from Mohyliv-Podilsky?
By foot, cross. You will cross the bridge, but on foot. Yeah.
Mohyliv-Podilsky? Wow.
Yeah, close. Maybe from Mohyliv-Podilsky. I don't remember exactly, but bus must be from Mohyliv-Podilsky, and there is like by foot you will cross the border for sure, as we have done. Yeah, easy.
So what is the next country?
We plan to go to Cyprus this next spring.
I have been there. No, we have been to Egypt.
No. Yeah, hitch swimming. And probably Egypt again.
Yeah, maybe.
We like snorkeling. We'll try scuba diving. All right, thank you guys for coming. Okay, one more.
This last question is but why side name to hitchhike just through? Why no Ukraine? Okay.
We set up our website 5 years ago with the help of a guy from Belarus. And he said, if just .ru, it'll be the cheapest way to pay it for hosting, for everything, and I will do it for free for you guys. We said, the name doesn't matter. Information is the only matters.
Are you going to visit all country?
No, it's not the aim. No. Just for visiting, I don't know, it's not very interesting. We try to understand a little bit more about country. Try to go deeper inside, understand how do the locals live, what do they think, their habits, traditions, religions, local lifestyle. That's interesting. But just for marking that I've been there, it was maybe like Vatican. Yeah, it's not for that. I couldn't live with Papa at the same room, like, and ask him.
But people from Ukraine, they go to Egypt, for example, and they live in some luxury hotels, you know. What about you? You don't live there, yes? You stay in Egypt, for example.
Yeah, in Egypt we tried both luxury hotel, and then we sent our parents back, and then we started hitchhiking after luxury hotel, and
that was more interesting.
for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for attention.
Thank you for attention. Thank you for coming. Travel more.